The MCTV Network and the Friends of MCTV presents Honors Night 2015, a night that honors those who create local, original programs seen on Midland Community Television. Tonight's event sponsor is Uncommon Sense with Junia Doan. Rodnick Chiropractic is our reception sponsor. Please welcome your host for this evening, John McPeak.
Good evening, and welcome to MCTV Honors Night. I'm John McPeak, and I will be guiding us through the 25th annual MCTV Honors Night. Coming to you this evening from Creative 360. This year's event is sponsored by Uncommon Sense with Junia Doan, and the reception is sponsored by Rodnick Chiropractic. The annual Honors Night program highlights the achievements of the access users of Midland Community TV, Midland Government TV, and Midland Public Schools TV for their service to the Midland community. Later in the program, a deserving organization will be honored when that organization is presented with the Rosemary Byers Community Voice Award, and the Edith Doyle Community Award will be presented to a worthy recipient. As most of you know, MCTV has recently been upgraded to a digital high-definition ready facility. That project was headed up by Matt Richardson, the MCTV production director since coming aboard in 2008. Because Matt knows more about the project and the process than any of us will ever know, he produced an explanatory video that he will now introduce along with some notes and details of interest. Please welcome Matt Richardson.
Thank you, John. Thank you, everybody, for coming. First off, I'm going to say I get really excited when I talk about this facility, so just kind of bear with me. Like John said, I did come to MCTV in 2008, and two of my professional goals really from the start were, one, I wanted to keep the old facility running as long as possible. Ron Brown's in the house. He put that system together. I knew it was going to last forever. But two, I wanted to completely overhaul and upgrade the facility to a modern, digital, high-definition ready facility that was of the same caliber that the City of Midland and its citizens have come to expect from the great facility they've had up to this point. So converting from an outdated analog facility to a all-digital facility was a huge task. There's so much involved in that process. So what I want to do is I just want to show you a video that we made for our government affairs program, City in 15, just to highlight some of the changes so you can actually see it. But I would expect that some of you want to come on down and see it in person at some point. So Billy, go ahead and roll that. Hi, I'm Matt Richardson, Production Director at Midland Community Television. Did you know that MCTV is currently undergoing a massive technical facilities upgrade? This upgrade will make your MCTV a modern, all-digital, high-definition ready facility. Let's take a look at the progress so far. The upgrade process started years ago. After years of budgeting, planning, and research, MCTV put this upgrade out to bid. In June, the city awarded the contract to provide and install the new equipment to Advanced Lighting and Sound of Troy, Michigan. The transformation began last year with the purchase of new high-definition camcorders and Final Cut Pro editing systems. This fall, MCTV is upgrading 4 main facilities from the ground up. The process started with staff tearing down the old facility, as shown in this time-lapse video. MCTV Studio received new cameras, video switcher, audio mixer, graphics generator, prompter, and furniture. The government production facility at City Hall also went through a major upgrade with high-definition cameras, new video switcher, digital audio mixer, and new digital transmission equipment. Later this fall, MCTV will complete construction of a new mobile production trailer. This trailer will allow community producers to bring local, original programming to the Midland community anywhere in the county. Of course, none of these upgrades would matter if it weren't for the new replay room. This room is the heart and brain of MCTV's transmission to the community. New all-digital HD video servers, digital signage, automation systems, and distribution equipment were needed to handle the new file-based workflows here at MCTV. This only scratches the surface of MCTV's upgrade. We are very excited to bring you the next generation of community production facility. For more information on MCTV, our facility upgrade, or how to get involved, call 837-3474 or visit www.cityofmidlandmi.gov/MCTV. For City in 15, I'm Matt Richardson. And for Honors Night 2015, I'm Matt Richardson. Okay. So I'm just going to reiterate a little bit of what you just heard in that video. The planning process really began in 2012, when we started talking about this whole process and unfortunately how expensive this sort of process really is. First, we had to determine exactly what we were going to upgrade. Well, it turns out everything. The field cameras for users, the nonlinear editing computers, the MCTV replay room, which you saw at the end of that video, studio control room and studio equipment, the government control room, which you saw a little bit of video of that, and the production trailer. The process really was supposed to evolve over years, and we had to put a 5-year budget plan and process to kind of phase in installation of these things. We spent many hours researching the technology, the processes, the workflows, the file formats, everything involved in having a modern facility, and we really found that it's best to do it all at once when it comes down to it. You just have to do it all at once. So working with the city early in 2015, we got the go-ahead to put together a request for proposal. It's like a bid to design and build all of the facilities that we had upgraded. We enlisted the help of an upgrade veteran, Dave Scott, from, I want to make sure I get this right, West Bloomfield Cable TV and Motown Digital, down near the Detroit area. Dave may have made it today. Is he here? No, he didn't make it. Okay. He had gone through this process before with West Bloomfield TV, and he was extremely helpful, really, because I personally had gone through an upgrade. I had a son who tied up a lot of my time for this whole year. So, but Dave combined my designs, my concepts, my equipment choices with his experience and knowledge to get us even more equipment and more technology that we didn't think was going to be possible within the budgets that we had. So it was really helpful to have him on board. So a little timeline for you. We put the proposal bid notice out to the public in April of this year. Bids came in, they were analyzed, checked, and double-checked in May. In June, the contract was awarded to Advanced Lighting and Sound from Troy, Michigan, to do all the facilities that you saw in the video. So that was a really exciting time for us. And September, I think it was September 6th, it marked the beginning of the actual physical upgrade process. As you saw in the video, most of our facilities are now completely upgraded. Our production trailer, however, should be complete early 2016. And I have a special thank you for the Department of Public Services staff, Craig Barnt and Lance Hopper, for being exceedingly helpful in putting together this trailer with us. Their knowledge of trailers and all that goes into it was very helpful to have. We have been, and this is kind of the end of the chain, we have been working with Charter Communications and AT&T in the hopes of getting a purely digital, clean signal from us to them, which is really the most important step in the process. Feel free to write your local office to help that happen. The technological advancements of the new equipment really are too numerous to list, but I am proud to say that, I'm so proud I had to write it down word for word. I am proud to say that your Midland Community Television has moved into a new world of possibilities. Keep an eye out for awesome high-definition programming, some of which is already available on YouTube through the school's channel or the city's channel or even the Friends of MCTV's channel. There's going to be network-style, multi-camera, super slow-mo instant replay when it comes to sports. Once we get that trailer up and running, it's going to look great. Social media integration from Facebook or Twitter. If you're under the age of probably 25, that's awesome. I'll just let you all know that right now. We're going to have dazzling graphics, and one of the coolest things is video on demand of programs wherever you are, however you want to watch them. Now you can watch the programs on your phone, your tablet, your computer. If you have devices connect to your TV, you can watch it on your TV without cable or AT&T U-verse. So that's really big news for us. So MCTV would like to thank the volunteers and producers who showed us much patience and understanding as we went through this process. Sometimes it was unknown to them. Sometimes they forced us to work around it in some way, shape, or form. And understanding as we move to this project, we look forward to working with you all to create a new generation of community media. And thank you for letting me be a part of it. And thank you all for being here tonight. So thank you.
Thank you, Matt, for that explanation. Next up, we'll recognize and honor our Access Users of the Month for the past year. Each month, the MCTV staff selects an Access user based on his or her contributions to MCTV as producer, as crew, as a committee member, and as a member of the MCTV family. Each chosen Access user is recognized by putting the person's name on the message board, publishing it with the MCTV listings in the Midland Daily News, and publishing it on the MCTV newsletter. For those Access users in attendance this evening, when you see your name mentioned, please come up and stand with me by the podium. Billy Bethune has prepared a video of the prior 12 Access Users of the Month. Roll it, Billy.
Here are the MCTV Access Users of the Month. December 2014, Access User of the Month is Bradley Burks. Bradley took part in MCTV's summer video camp and helped produce a show on marijuana for the Legacy Center.
Are you medical or recreational? And I said, I don't know, you tell me. What do I look like to you? And they said, well, it depends how much time you have. I said, please explain. They said, well, if you have about half an hour, we'll call the doctor on call who's waiting. And they'll be here in 6 minutes. It'll take you 2 minutes to fill out the form, which tells the doctor what ailment you have. And don't worry, there's headaches, insomnia, stress, anxiety. I said, can I check all of the above? I mean, I really qualify.
Scott Fortin is January's Access User of the Month. Scott has run camera on many trailer productions and produces programs for Relay for Life.
That is why we're all here this weekend, to fight back. No matter how crazy that C word has touched all our lives, we will continue to stay strong and fight for our loved ones, ourselves, and each other. We will be supportive of those fighting the battle now and remember those who fought hard and lost the battle but will not be forgotten.
John Church is our Access User of the Month for February. John produced the Ask the Chiropractor show.
We're going to start with our feet shoulder width apart, tighten the core abdomen, and then you're going to stretch up, take a deep breath in, tip your head back and reach up, stretch, hold it, and then breathe out. You're going to do this 2 or 3 times. And just like dental hygiene is done several times a day, you're going to do your spinal hygiene a couple times a day. So we're going to reach up and hold it and breathe out.
March's Access User of the Month is Ashlyn Hill. Ashlyn became a volunteer after graduating from CMU. She witnessed the trials of a field production firsthand while running camera for the Midland versus Dow girls soccer game. That took quite a hit, huh?
Oh my god.
Oh, it busted off.
Did it really?
It did.
Oh my god.
Ralph Wirtz, the now retired managing editor and host of Midland Daily News Front Page, is our Access User of the Month for April. Ralph hosted the show for over 15 years.
What are you going to miss the most?
Believe it or not, probably the discipline you have to have putting out a daily newspaper. Because I'm going to get out, for the first time since I was 16, I won't have a job. You know, when I roll out of bed on May 1st, it's going to be since 1966, where I have no really physical responsibility to do that day. I'll find something to do, but maybe not on May 1st.
May's Access User of the Month is Gay Terwilliger. Gay is the producer and host of Adoption Option.
Folks, I'm sure, know that the symptoms of ADHD and
yeah, when you start seeing the child's sleeping habits change, when they're more irritable, when they lose interest in things that they just used to really enjoy, a change in friends, a change in scenarios, when their energy level is not what it used to be, that's a sign that something is bothering them more so than it should. And
behaviors change, friends change.
Yes. Grades change.
Grades change.
Overall disposition changes.
Matt Bartos is MCTV's Access User of the Month for June. Matt is studying at Delta College and volunteers his efforts on music productions, including the Midland Community Orchestra. Jason Harper is July's Access User of the Month. Jason is a longtime announcer doing many sports productions and is a past Community Award winner.
50-48, 9 seconds to go. Bullet Creek can tie, Bullet Creek can win. Neiman driving in, does not get the bucket to fall through. Rebound by Goodrich, and the game is over. The game is over. Number 2 has defeated number 1. The Martians advancing on. And the first loss of the season for Bullet Creek is the last loss of the season for Bullet Creek.
August Access User of the Month is Jack Gavin. Jack was part of our 2015 summer video camp and helped on trailer productions this fall and produced his own program on swimming.
Go, Kyle!
What were you doing today?
I was coaching for the swim meet.
Cool. So, is coaching kids for swimming hard?
A little bit. It's hard to organize everybody, but it's a lot of fun too.
September's Access User of the Month is Alice Morgan. Alice produced the Crop Walk Show and is a past Community Award winner.
We were going to make a change for our route to make it a little bit more accessible and easier on people.
That's true.
We've done a big 10K. That's a lot for a lot of people.
It is. Here we see walkers taking off from the Center for the Arts. After a short opening ceremony that pumps everyone up, everyone heads out and to the right along the parking lot.
Callista Post is our October Access User of the Month. Callista was part of our summer video camp and shot the Michigan-Vietnam War moving wall that was in Sanford recently.
Conceived and nurtured and built with loving care and thought by a few for all. I am your wall, standing in respectful memory, hoping to have no others built like me, but ready to serve, if ever called upon again. I am your wall, respect me, hold me, caress me, love me, as I love you.
November's Access User of the Month is Joe Dowenhauer. Joe was a field reporter for our summer video camp and also helped on trailer productions this fall.
What other projects are going on around Midland?
One of the major projects we have going this summer is Waldo Avenue between Wheeler and Diamond Drive. That's currently underway with completion by the end of September. We have a project on Dublin Avenue that's going to close a ditch and install a sidewalk.
Thanks to all our volunteers who put the community in MCTV Community Voices.
The congratulations to all of the past year's Access Users of the Month. Each of them will receive an MCTV fleece jacket, as as modeled here by me, and by Jack Gavin, whose MC nickname is Too Tall Jack. The jackets may be picked up from Sherry after the program or at the MCTV office in the next few days. Thank you. Ron Beacom, the manager of MCTV and Library Communications, annually produces a highlights video from the programs of the previous 12 months with his choices of the programs, people, and events that represent the local community television universe. His video is a collection of programs from all of the public, education, and government channels. Let's see what Ron's choices are of last year's highlights.
Tax code is really this dead weight. I often say it's 10 times the size of the Bible with none of the good news.
And while we're at it, if we're going to change an area, a classroom space, let's create it to be 21st century learning space. So for all of us when we went to school, 32 students lined up in the classroom. One teacher got up and she taught all of us in the same way. That worked for probably about 16 of us, and the other 16 by high school decided, hey, this isn't working, I'm going to go a different route, and we had jobs for them in America at the time. That's not the case anymore today.
The current market uses a space, and we understand it uses more than just the market ring because it kind of spills out a little bit, but including the space where it spills out into, it uses a space of about an acre. And the existing site with the potential road revision uses a space of about 2.5 acres.
And when I stand on the site that you're proposing to confiscate the park for, I can't imagine a worse place to have a market.
Overall, what should drivers do when approaching construction zones?
There's 19,000 vehicles that normally travel Eastman every day, and when we restrict it from 5 lanes down to 2, obviously there's going to be some backups. And so what we'd like to emphasize is for people to slow down, watch for the workers and construction equipment, and pay attention to the signing.
Here we are today to really celebrate her beautiful new coat. And truly, when you drive down Main Street, there's no missing her. You are going to be dazzled by her. This 106-year-old bridge is one of our community landmarks, and it's a treasure.
And then the logs were floated down these streams, and the Chippewa was a great lumber resource. And this is a picture of downtown Midland sometime in the 1870s or 80s as the logs were floated to the sawmills. And as the lumber was cleared, you can see in the background there's not many trees. People began to use this as a recreational resource, even early on. Over 100 years ago, here's Glenn Brown fishing at the Oxbow at current Chippewa Nature Center property, and people swimming on the 4th of July in 1912. And just no trees, the entire background. And you can see how the bank has been caved away by those logs rolling down the riverbank and being floated on the rivers.
With a bucket of oil, I climb every step to keep the lamp fueled and to trim up the wick. Then I clean and I polish the lens and the lamp to keep the light bright through the upcoming night. Then it's paint and paint and paint some more, polish the lens and wash the floor.
I just heard the trumpet sound.
walked in fields of gold, when we walked in fields of gold.
It has been correctly stated that our nation changed forever on September 11th, 2001. Most of us can state exactly where we were and what we were doing when the towers were struck. We remember the sick feeling in the pit of our stomachs as the towers fell. The images of the survivors, the rescuers, and the aftermath. We remember hearing the news that the Pentagon had been hit, and later that another aircraft was down in Pennsylvania. Everyone became a target that day. This cannot and should not be forgotten. The war on terror had begun in earnest.
What so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming.
My mom does not talk about prejudice.
Really?
No, not at all. When they did get married, though, they were married at an American consul, and the American consulate. And the consul did ask them to acknowledge the fact that they would realize that my mom may be, because of her Japanese birth, discriminated upon.
I remember he just hours later got home. I'll never forget it because it was raining and we had just pulled up, kids in the back seat, sleeping. I'm like, okay, we need to get them out the car. And he just exploded and brought it back up and just took my head and smashed it into the glass. And I remember standing outside in the rain just crying by myself, like, what is this life? But what else do you do? Where do you go? You have all these children now. They tell you, you have children. Nobody else will want you. What do you do? It's your fault. So you just kind of...
Yeah. And to be intentional about creating safe spaces. Safe spaces where people can be who they are. Not who somebody thinks they should be, but who God intended them to be.
But what you see today with a soup kitchen that serves an average 57 different people every day, 2 shelters, a women's shelter and a men's shelter, as well as a jail ministry, a clothing ministry. That's a lot bigger than it was 40 years ago.
Yeah. It's called a radio wave. A lot of new credit cards are coming out with these. These credit cards actually have a chip in them that emit a radio wave signal that can be picked up by a device that people are making, and they call it electronic pickpocketing. So the scammer doesn't actually have to take your wallet like they used to in the old days. Now they can just walk by you and get within inches of you and actually collect all your information.
From elementary school to college, you can get help with your homework at the library. Find out how? Just ask a librarian. I'm Laura Peterson. I'm a board member for the Grace A. Dow Memorial Library. Yes, you can, at the library.
All of us could tell stories about the gifts that we have received from you, gifts of wisdom, of laughter, of appreciation of your creativity and an undying hope in the possibilities that God will provide to us as individuals and to us as a community. So I give thanks for that. I give thanks for you being my friend, for the many gifts you've given to this community, for the creative expressions that we see around this room, and the many, many lives that you have touched and continue to touch merely by your leprechaunish presence in our midst. Thank you, Bill.
We know you don't like the recognition or speaking, so let us speak for you. Thank you for recognizing our Father for all he has done for the Midland community. But thank you also for showing the community what a kind, gentle, and loving man he is. Don't let the curmudgeon exterior fool you. I love you, Dad.
We're tied with 2 away. There's a fly ball into the right field. It's going to be a base hit going to the fence. Beatty is going to score, and the Loons win in the bottom of the 9th. How about that? How about that?
Blake putting it on the floor, passes to Richie. Richie gets around her defender, pivots, kicks out. Anderson, 5 on the shot clock, into the painted area. Tough shot is off the mark. Sarah Susan the rebound. It's 5 seconds left, 4 seconds. Sarah Susan pushing it up the floor, kicks out. Emily Kutch shot on its way. It's good! Emily Kutch puts it in at the buzzer, and we are going to overtime.
Underhill to serve.
All the seniors tonight.
Atten. Chemix with the dig. Atten again. She got it. Puts it away. And Dow, furious comeback. Wins in 5.
We like to end our show, our TV show. Remember our favorite way of saying goodbye? saying Merry Christmas?
I do, yeah.
So would you
I'd
look
be
at
happy
the
to.
camera and would you say goodbye to all the boys and girls and Merry Christmas?
All right. Merry Christmas. Santa loves you. Merry Christmas, kids.
Our thanks to Ron Beacon for putting together that highlights video. Each year, MCTV's Access users contribute thousands of hours to help create the shows that you see on MCTV, MPS TV, and MGTV. From sports to music and public affairs to community events, these people gave the most time to produce MCTV shows. Now, for those high-hour users who are in attendance this evening, when you see your name mentioned, please join me at the podium. The Access Hours Awards video.
Here are MCTV Access User Hour Awards. 50 to 99 hours. George Whittaker, Wilson Coomer, Jack Gavin, Kevin Davis, Matt Bartos, John McPeak, Bradley Burks, John McKelvey, Judy Keel, Zygmunt Kozicki, Linda Malikadelli, Dennis Caney. 100 to 199 hours. Stephanie Bayassi, John Walters, Tim Doyle, Jim Malik. 200 plus hours. Joan Timmer, Mark Oliver. Thank you to all of our Access users who volunteer their time to Midland Community Television.
Congratulations are due to these folks who provide great inspiration for all of the MCTV Volunteer Access users. And each of them are also eligible to receive a fleece jacket as recognition for their efforts. Where's your modeling too-tall jacket? Thank you. Each year, MCTV presents the Rosemarie Byers Community Voice Award to a deserving organization. And here to present that award this evening is Roy Green, the chair of the Cable Access Advisory Commission. Roy graduated from Marshall University and is a product manager for Powell Fabrication and Manufacturing in St. Louis, Michigan. He is heavily involved with several city and county commissions, plus local and state historical societies, and he is active in the First United Methodist Church. Roy has been an instructor at Delta College and Saginaw Valley State University in their geography departments and maintains an interest in the history of copper mining, coal mining, and the glacial features of Michigan. Please welcome Roy Green.
Thank you, John, for that introduction. I'm here this evening representing the Cable Access Advisory Commission for the City of Midland. One of our major responsibilities that we have is to advise the City Council on matters relating to local access. And also, as you're here this evening, to promote MCTV in the community, which I would like to say to everyone here, the access users, we appreciate what you've done. Those who are not access users, we welcome you to come in, and as Matt has explained the equipment, we have a unique opportunity in this community, and it's amazing to see what we do produce, and I want to thank the staff that we have for MCTV. One other comment regarding the Cable Access Advisory Commission. We do meet once a quarter. It's always the second Wednesday of the month at 7 o'clock at the City Council. We do have an opening on the commission. If you're a resident of the City of Midland and interested in a short amount of time, please contact Ron Beacom, and we would welcome you with open arms. Each year, we honor an organization here in the City of Midland and Midland County through outstanding use of MCTV. The award is the Rosemary Byers Community Voice Award. This is named after a long-standing head librarian at the Grace A. Dow Library who was involved with MCTV's founding 31 years ago. Tonight, this award will be granted to Emmanuel Baptist Church. The church started in Midland in 1953, as known as many of you as the Baptist Temple. When the church joined the Southern Baptist Convention, the name was changed to the Emmanuel Baptist Church. It was initially located at the corner of Waldo and Ashman, then moved to its current location on Cherry Street, which we're familiar with it, in 1982. Dr. Paul Dan was the pastor when the church service began producing programs for MCTV in 2001. He was followed by Pastor Dr. Sam Hamilton, who came on staff in 2002 after Pastor Dan retired. The man behind the video ministry at the church is here this evening, Jerry Vance. He's truly an example of what can be done as an individual in producing a program. He's, in essence, the one-man production crew at the church. In addition to producing the video on the Sundays, he also returns to the MCTV studios and does the post-production work, so the program that you can see on television. It's important to note that Jerry and the church have been long-standing and consistent long-term users to MCTV and the community of Midland. So let's look at a short video that he produces.
From the age of 5 up in the 80s who have come to realize, you know what, I don't like this sin. I believe Jesus died to forgive my sin, and I do trust Jesus as my Savior. And I look forward to baptizing more people of all ages who come to realize that there's something wrong that they can't fix. No school can fix it, no education can fix it, no amount of money can fix it. There's only one fix, and it's already been offered. Jesus died on the cross. And by his blood, our sins are cleansed, folks. Count your many blessings, name them one by one, and it will surprise you what the Lord has done. Count your blessings, name them one by one. Count your many blessings, see what I have done. Count your many blessings, name them one by one. Count your many blessings, see what God has done.
Just a couple additional comments regarding Jerry. As a resident of Midland, he moved to the community in 1967. He retired as a programmer from Dow Chemical Company. During his retirement, though, he's obviously being involved with MCTV. He's also had the opportunity to instruct citizens in the community dealing with computer programming issues and learning basic computer skills. He's done that at the community center, at Memorial Presbyterian, and also associated with the Ollie Center at SVSU. There was one rumor we heard that he also has been found a few times on the golf course working on his short game. But we do, Jerry, congratulate you. Please come forward, accept the award. Congratulations and thank you.
Thank you.
Comments, please.
Oh boy, this is something. Well, I've had a lot of fun doing this, and way back when I first started, I was dealing with a video camera that was on VHS tape, if anybody in here could remember that. And it was not fun to do the editing and so forth. I had to learn the stuff at MCTV with a lot of help. I used that until later I was able to upgrade to a better camera. Now I've got a digital camera and it's a lot easier. I've enjoyed doing this. I've met a lot of people. I've helped in some of the other programs. I like to go out to the football and basketball games, that kind of thing. It's a lot of fun. If you haven't done that as a user, guys, pitch in and try it. Thank you very much for this. So congratulations to Emmanuel Baptist Church and all of the folks who help on their video productions for being the recipient of the Rosemarie Byers Community Voice Award. The final award this evening is the Edith Doyle Community Award. Ron Beacom, the manager of MCTV and Library Communications, will present this award.
Nice job of modeling by John tonight of MCTV clothing over the years, so thank you, John. Appreciate all your volunteer efforts. He's been volunteering with us, involved in this program and our focus show, and now the community focus show for about 26 years. I think he'll soon be eligible for a pension. Before I present the Edith Doyle Community Award, I need to take some time to make some acknowledgments. First, congratulations to our staff. They received a first place award in the Philo T. Farnsworth Regional Video Contest for the video they produced about the Santa House we did last December with Cheryl Levy and Midland's St. Nick, and also the Summer Video Camp show we produced with our student campers was recognized as a finalist. Now you saw clips from both programs in our highlight video. The Philos are sponsored by the Central States region of the Alliance for Community Media. Second, I want to recognize two of our access users who received special honors from two other organizations in our community this fall. First, Joan Timmer, recognized at this very facility by Shelter House. She received the first Helping Hands Award from Shelter House for her volunteer service that's included producing several programs at MCTV. And also this fall, as you saw in the highlight video, the Midland Area Community Foundation named our own Jim Malik the Philanthropist of the Year for his generosity with his time, talent, and treasure for several organizations in Midland. Jim has also provided the funding for several scholarships at the foundation, including one for video production students at Delta College. So we're honored to be associated with both Joan and Jim. Third, we had to say farewell too many times this past year. Bob Fisher died last November at the age of 68. Following his retirement from the City of Midland as the Director of Fiscal Services, we recruited Bob to be our stats guy in the booth during Great Lakes Loons games. He and his wife Joyce, who also retired from the city, she ran circulation at the library, are big baseball fans. If you knew Bob, just a special, special man. So we miss him. Jeff Herringshaw died in December at the age of 51. Jeff was the producer of Ask the Chiropractor for over 20 years at MCTV. Jeff was in charge of public relations and communications for Rodnick Chiropractic, It was always a joy to see Jeff come down on the first Tuesday morning of the month to MCTV. Just a bright, positive guy. Nancy Rickwald died in May at the age of 93, but you wouldn't have guessed it that she was 93 if you met her. She drove down from near West Branch on Thursday mornings in the fall to work on the crew of Northwood Replay for 20 years. She was very fashionable, known for wearing high heels, retiree from GM. Great lady. And Pat Rietma, many of you knew Pat, died in July at the age of 54. Pat was the longtime football coach and also the athletic director at Northwood University. He and one of his assistant coaches started the Northwood Replay show when he took over the team in 1993. He made Thursday mornings special in the fall with his positive energy and outlook. He's a big reason why Nancy made that drive all those years. And Pat, of course, built a football program that went on to win championships. So we'll miss all four of them. Let's hear it for them. Well, we've had a lot of special people walk through our doors over the years in the past and still do. Another one's Edith Doyle. Edith died 3 years ago at the age of 95. She did so much for so many in her 20 years of volunteering at MCTV that because of that, we named our highest individual honor the Edith Doyle Community Award. Tonight, we present that award to her son, Tim Doyle. I will always remember Tim calling me not long after his mom died to say he wanted to take our training and get involved at MCTV to honor his mom. And he and I both got choked up recently when I told him about our plans to give him this award. Now, he's gone beyond any expectation I had, or I think even he had, with his volunteer time at MCTV. Tim's a regular behind the camera on studio shows and often serves as the technical director on trailer productions around town. He's the first person Joan Timmer calls when she's putting together a crew to work on one of her many shows. Joan received this award last year, so we asked Joan to share her thoughts about Tim's volunteer service.
Tim Doyle's pretty amazing. He is very dependable. I could not be successful in putting together the shows that I've done with MCTV without his help. He is one of the few volunteers that consistently and ongoing shows up. I know he must spend an incredible number of hours here in the studio because he helps me all the time with my shows, and I'm very grateful for that. The other piece that I'm very grateful for is that while Tim tends to be pretty quiet, he's not a shy person. And with that comes collaboration. So he might see something that he's seen them do in another show, and it contributes to my success and the quality of the shows that I put together because he's willing to share what he's learned. So when I walked in and tried to use the new cameras, he's very much a subject matter expert. So I call him a SHME from time to time, but that's what that stands for, is subject matter expert. So I enjoy working with Tim an awful lot. There are times with Tim where we've got the studio set up, we're ready to go, and the guest hasn't shown up yet. And so we kind of gather in the control room and we'll sit and visit. And so we share different personal opinions on different things. And he has truly become a friend of mine. And so I do count him as a friend, very much so.
Tim is retired. He worked for many years in security at Dow's Bay City plant. He also volunteers at the Berry Hill American Legion post in the kitchen. For senior services, Tim is what's called a friendly visitor. He's a former pilot, and when he can, he gets over to Wisconsin in August for the Milwaukee Irish Festival. He has 4 siblings, 3 living. He also has several nieces and nephews, and for the last several years of her life, Tim took care of his mom, did a great job. Help me congratulate Tim Doyle. We had an arrangement. He's shy, but I said, well, at least come on up and get the award, and if you feel like talking, you can. If you don't, we'll just applaud you. Thank you, Tim. Thank you. All right, let's hear it for Tim. I'll turn the program back over to John McPeak. And Carol Rumba, I want to thank you for hosting us here at Creative 360. This is a great venue. Appreciate it.
Congratulations, Tim. It's time to conclude this 25th annual MCTV Honors Night. Congratulations again to those folks who received awards for the many hours of volunteering at MCTV, to Emmanuel Baptist Church for receiving the Rosemary Byers Community Voice Award, and to Tim for receiving the Edith Doyle MCTV Community Award, and to all of the Access users, the volunteers who put community in community television. Thanks to our sponsors, Rodnick Chiropractic, sponsoring the reception, and Uncommon Sense with Junia Doan for sponsoring this event. And thanks also to Creative 360 for hosting this MCTV Honors Night. If you are interested in becoming an MCTV volunteer and are sharing all this fun, call the studio at 837-3474 to sign up for an introductory class, or better yet, come to the MCTV studio in the lower level of the Grace A. Dow Memorial Library. We'd like to see you at next year's Honor Night. Take care and be well.